Hi, everybody! So you might have seen we just started a video, but we were sideways. So ignore that video and come back to this one. We'll give you guys a minute to find us again. Hand signals.
Talk with your hands.
Yeah, talk with your hands.
Just expressive person.
There we got Andrea.
Hi, Andrea!
Hi, Andrea. So, I'm Stacey Casimir, and I am half of the Hippie Homemakers. Oh, there's my mother.
Hi, Mom!
Hi. And tonight we're doing some oracle card readings. We have a few people booked, and congratulations, because one of them is going to be a lucky winner of a chakra bracelet for pre-booking, which is exciting. But we do have a couple more spaces for people to get readings tonight, so you can message the page, and my amazing friend Vanessa Duffy is going to be manning the computer to help us out. Hi, Mother. So, to get started, I want to tell you guys a little bit about what we're doing tonight. So we have oracle card readings, and if you haven't heard of that before, your energy calls the card to you. So we can pull one card or 3 cards is how I usually do it, called a 3-card spread, and it is a message for you. But it's not me that's bringing you that. You're calling the cards to you with your energy, and I'm just going to help interpret the messages for you. So we're going to get started, and remember this is our first video like this, so the camera might be a little wonky for a second. But I'm going to see if I can get the camera to face the other way and have a look at our setup here. And we're going to pull one card, and this is going to be the info for the week for everybody. It's open to everybody. We got it switched over. So you'll see here I have 3 crystals set up. I have 2 protection crystals, the fluorite, which is one of my favorite. And if you've seen one of our other videos, I talked about fluorite then as well. It's a gorgeous green and purple.
Colors.
Yeah, and fluorite is all about protection. And it can also increase your psychic intuition as well. And we make quite a few malas using fluorite as well, especially fluorite for the guru bead. Another crystal I have is citrine here, and this is a very, very lucky crystal. It brings good luck and good energy, and this is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. And then my second protection stone here is black tourmaline. This can protect from negative energy that's aimed at you, and I like having that with our card readings as well, so that we only have good energy amongst the messages on the card and no negative energy. I also have my trusty amethyst here. Amethyst is about healing, but it's also recharging. It recharges other crystals. So I have my favorite pendulum here. It's made of clear quartz. Clear quartz is an amplifier, and we'll get to that later about using the pendulum. So first we're going to look at my oracle cards, and this is my favorite deck. It's called the Earth Magic deck from Stephen Farmer. And when you're going to do an oracle card reading, you knock on it to send your energy into the deck. And then you give it a good shuffle. Sometimes when you're shuffling, a card can pop out of the deck too.
Is that good?
It is good. It's like it's a trump card, so it's the basis of what, if you're doing a 3-card spread, the trump card would be the theme of what your card reading is about. So we give them a good shuffle. And then I've sent my intention as I've been shuffling that this is going to be a message for everybody, and it's going to set the tone for our week. So let's see what the cards have to say. Oh, the Waterfall card. And it's all about effortlessness, but only if you want it to be. So the message here is that you're on the edge of a decision. And if you can picture yourself standing at the top of a waterfall, you'd have to think that you're coming to the edge of your comfort zone about something, maybe a decision or a hobby or something at work or a decision to make with the kids or your family, and you're going to expand out of your comfort zone. So that could be decisions about if you're going to take the next step with a hobby or apply for something new at work or in your career path, or take a next step with your family. Maybe they're into sports and it's time to jump to the next level. So you need to decide if you're going to make the leap. But if you do make the leap, it has to be effortless, because it feels like a fight right now about which way you should go in the decision, and you have to surrender to one way or another. So I feel like for a lot of people that decision is going to come up this week. And we talked last week about the moon, and that this can be a time for two different things. It can be a time for conflict, or it can also be a time for blooming. So I think that this goes with both of those ideas, that you're conflicted right now, but once you make this decision and release, you're going to be able to make the leap, surrender to your decision, and go from there. Because the worst part about making a decision is making it, and then once you made it, everything is good, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Well, once you've made it, there's no going back.
Exactly. But it's making that initial decision, and knowing that, and believing in that decision, knowing that you're making the best choice.
Yes.
And
trust.
Exactly. Staying positive.
So this is a message for everybody for this coming week. So for Vanessa, for helping out with us too, we're going to pull a spirit guide card for her. And it's going to be a message from her spirit guide. Now, the animal shown on this deck is not necessarily her spirit guide animal, but it's sending a message. And these cards are kind of face value. We'll look at one here. For example, the mountain goat. They each have a message on the, on the bottom of this isn't for you necessarily. If it comes back, we'll know.
And the mountain goat.
The mountain goat says that there's something out of balance in your life, so do what you ever need to do to
Which
correct
is
it. It's possible.
It's not wrong,
yeah,
right?
It's not wrong. But this was just a trial. This wasn't shuffled yet and sent our energy in yet. But this is an example of my spirit card deck. What the cards look like, and I usually just do a single card draw when I pull these. And it's an option that you can get tonight as well, if you'd like to. So again, anytime I use a deck, I knock on it first, and I send my energy into it, and then we give it a good shuffle. And as I'm shuffling, Vanessa, she's going to set her intention, and her intention at this point is just going to be, what does my spirit guide have to tell me?
It would be a bear.
It's possible. So, I got it into 3 different piles so that you know for sure you're getting the right information. So you can select from 1, 2, or 3. Which one feels right?
3, please.
All right. The tortoise.
Turtle.
You're too fragmented, so do whatever it takes to get grounded. I think that sounds pretty good. It's a good reminder that if you're going in 1,000 different directions and you have to make a firm decision, that you need to do whatever it takes to settle down, right? To settle down and be firm, have resolve in your decisions, and stop feeling like you're being pulled apart in a million different directions.
Which, come on, that's
pretty.
That's fairly true. Yes,
sounds pretty correct.
Yeah, it does. I'm a tortoise.
You're a tortoise, and maybe you have a tortoise.
I think the tortoise for myself also kind of symbolizes my opposite, because I'm always so anxious to go that I forget to slow down and you know, be that turtle. Take the time. Go slowly.
Yep, absolutely. This deck that I like to use is also by Stephen Farmer. I'm a huge Stephen Farmer fan. You could have a look at him on different websites. Hey, Trisha. So another message from the tortoise is that you need to recognize that you treat you're always kind of in panic mode. Hi, Veronica. So like the tortoise, like you just said, instead of being in panic mode all the time, you just need to slow down, right? Not everything is an emergency. Not everything is a crisis. Or just because the kids ate, I don't know, a piece of pizza for breakfast instead of a real breakfast, it's not a crisis. Slow down.
I don't care what they eat, but
that's all that matters.
I mean, you know me, right? You know that I am very dramatic. Would you like? I'm very everything. I'm so high strung. I'm very high strung. That's who I am.
We'll switch back so you can see us now. Sorry, I am still learning how to use our camera here.
I have been off Facebook
Hi,
for
Toya.
like 3 months, and I'm logging back on so I can just share this with everybody.
She's going to get a lot of notifications.
I'm going to
when
have
she
like
does
72.
So just a reminder tonight, guys, we're doing Oracle card readings. We do have a few people that are pre-booked. And because they've done that, they've been entered into a draw for a chakra bracelet, which is fabulous. And actually on that note too, let me tell you that I am a Reiki 2 level 2 practitioner. And I'm doing some Reiki sessions at Joy Yoga in St. Thomas in June. I have 3 dates planned. I already have some bookings, but there's a couple spots left still. And we'll probably take July and August off because I got all those kids at home. But starting in September, we'll have a lot more appointments available as well, which is so exciting. It's been something I've been waiting to do for a long time. And I'm super excited that Michelle at Joy Yoga is letting me do it at her gorgeous location. So, if you're just joining us, we already pulled one card. I think I still have it here. So this is a card for everybody for the week. Probably is the text backwards. When we flip the camera around, we can look at it better again. But this is a message to set the tone for everybody's week. It's the Waterfall card. And it talks about that you have kind of a conflict in your life, a decision coming up, and you need to make that decision. But as soon as you do, it's going to be effortless. Life is going to be effortless. And you'll feel awesome about the decision that you've made. And you're just going to go from the flow from there on out this week. Which is very, very nice. So first up, I think we have Lindsay coming up. I'm not sure if she's joined yet. But when she does join, we'll be ready for her. Until we get to that point, actually, another thing I wanted to show you was what bracelets that I wear when I'm doing Oracle card readings as well. Hi, Amy. So this is one of the bracelets that I wear. It's blue agate. And these crystals are all about communication and speaking your truth. And I find when I wear this doing Oracle card readings, it helps me get the right phrases and the right words to be able to get the message to you. From the Oracle cards that your energy has brought to you, I'm able to then get you the right messages of how they work together and how you can use that knowledge just to have more knowledge about your life. And I have 2 more bracelets over here as well. This is my empathy bracelet. A lot of people are empaths, whether they know it or not. Hi, Allison. To be an empath is that you take on people's emotions, whether you want to or not. You don't have a choice.
I am an empath.
And this bracelet helps protect you in a lot of different ways. So malachite is the stone truly of an empath. The amethyst is our healer. Rose quartz is for love and protection. And this, which we talked about earlier here, the black tourmaline, protects you from negative energy. Because as an empath, you need to know that you need to instead of taking on people's emotions and letting them control you, you need to accept them, but then let them go. You need to let them wash over you instead of absorbing them, I think would be the right words.
Guilty.
Yeah. And it's hard because when you take on too many emotions, yours get lost too. So when the world is in crisis, which it always is, and you're always worried about unfortunate children starving here and war-torn countries over here, you're not focusing maybe on your own household and what's happening there and what you need to be worried about day to day in your life to get through. So you need to let those emotions wash over you, and this bracelet can be an asset to you as well. And I find it's an asset to the card reading because a lot of emotions come up when we do this, good and bad. Well, not bad, maybe good and sad, because sometimes it brings back some past hurts. Trisha, you need an empathy bracelet too?
Everybody needs an empathy
bracelet. I think
bracelet.
everybody does need an empathy bracelet. We'll get you one. Hi, Amy. I did make this bracelet, and they are for sale. Hi, Emma. They are for sale. They're $22 each. If you want to look on the page, hey, Emma, you can scroll down and see our available bracelets, or you can message the page, and we'll send you the image over as well. Lindsay, hi. Hey, Shannon. The other bracelet that I wear when I'm doing oracle card readings is my psychic intuition bracelet. This helps me have a stronger connection with spirit. And as we said, when you're getting an oracle card reading, it's your energy that is calling the cards to you. But this does help me get any messages that I can give to you at the same time. I also wear this when I'm doing Reiki. Because sometimes when you do Reiki, you can receive messages from Spirit as well. Because what you're doing is pulling the energy from your higher self and sending it into someone's body to help them heal. Heal in all of their chakra points, and to heal in a higher level to strengthen their connection to Spirit as well. So I like to wear my psychic intuition bracelet when I'm doing both Reiki and the card reading to help you get all the messages I can to you. So I'm going to be putting those back on right now. All right, Lindsay, are you here? We're ready. No.
I didn't see Lindsay yet. Did she come on?
Says she's watching. Sorry, remember, we're kind of new to videos. Well, we'll give her a minute.
She's there.
There's
always a delay.
Always a delay. She's
always
there.
a delay.
Yay, Lindsay! Woo! So, sorry, she's one of our BFFs.
Hi, Emma!
So, I would love to do a card reading for Lindsay today. So, Lindsay, what you're going to do, I'm going to switch the camera. So, close up for a minute. We're going to switch the camera to have a look here. So Lindsay, I don't think that you saw at the start, so I just want to let you know that I have 2 protection stones here as we do your card reading. We have the gorgeous fluorite for protection, and we also have the black tourmaline that protects from negative energy, because we don't want any negative card readings. Sometimes there's information that maybe is a surprise, but we don't need you to walk away with any negative thoughts. And again, when we were talking about the empath bracelet as well, this is one of the crystals that you wear. And we also have citrine for good luck, because we could all use some good luck, whether it's with our card readings or whether it's with the Lotto Max. See, it's still 60 million.
I know, and they didn't even like add additional, like, come on.
I know. What's going on there? One of us. Come on, pal. One of us needs to win that Lotto Max. I also have my amethyst here. The amethyst is a healing stone at any time in your life, and it's great to keep by your workspace or by your bedside table, but it also recharges stones. So I always keep my clear quartz pendulum on here, and Lindsay, you're going to be asking a question to the pendulum tonight as well, so we'll explain that when that comes up. So Lindsay, I'm going to knock on the deck and send my energy into it. And then you are going to set your intention for this reading. So we're going to pull 3 cards for you, and we're going to look at the past, the present, and the future of your intention. Intentions can be as simple as, what do I need to hear today? Or you might have a more specific question, like, how is my career going? And we can look at the past, present, and future of that, or how is my family going? You don't want to get too specific. Because when we're looking at the past, present, and future, you don't want to have too short of a timeline, or the information might not be as valid. And I prefer to have ones where it's mostly what you need to hear, because sometimes it's not what you want to hear,
Yeah.
but what you need to hear. So I'm going to knock on this now, Lindsay, and I'm going to shuffle. And then I'm going to lay out 3 pieces of the deck here, and you can let me know which one we're going to pull from. Hi, Sue. Once in a while when you're shuffling, a card can pop right out of the deck, and if it does, we refer to that as a trump card. And especially when you're doing a 3-card spread, that can be the overall theme of what you're looking at. Sometimes as well, if I have a 3-card spread and we don't feel that they're connecting well, even though sometimes it takes time, like you might have a 3-card reading and you're like, okay, all right. That kind of makes sense. And then you're going to wake up at 3 in the morning and you're like, oh, that's what it means.
Billy Joe's here.
Billy Joe! So, for those of you that don't know, Billy Joe is watching, and she's my other half, my other hippie half, and we're glad to have her here. So the text is showing it's from Hippie Homemakers, and that's Billy Joe. So fun. So Lindsay, I have 3 piles here for you. If you're comfortable, I'd like you to pick either 1, 2 in the middle, or 3. Let me know which deck is feeling right to you at this moment.
The delay. Always a delay.
I know. We'll get used to it though. Maybe we should have like a thinking song while we wait.
Like a Jeopardy.
I can have a drink. I have my Lotus cup tonight. My Lotus tumbler. Number 3. All right.
I was thinking the same thing, Lindsay.
Oh, Vanessa was feeling number 3 as well. So we have number 3 on top. We're going to set out 3 cards. This is going to be the past of your intention, the present, and the future. And if we feel that we need some more clarification, we'll pull a 4th card, and that's going to be our trump card. So probably I'll open up all 3. We'll have a quick description about each card, and then we'll see how they all work together. So your first card is Clouds and Shape-Shifting, which is a really interesting one because it mentions that in the past you've tried different versions of yourself. Let me get that in the middle there. And by different versions of yourself, it can just be small changes, like you were trying out a different makeup. Vanessa knows about that, right?
What?
Or you changed your style in clothing. Maybe you used to be goth.
I was, yeah.
Or, Lindsay, maybe you had a whole different career or thought you were going towards a different career, and you made changes all the time. So you, at some point in the past, the card is saying that you were a shapeshifter and you were just trying out different experiences. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just a thing. It's just letting you know that you were trying out different versions of yourself until you knew who you were, which is actually a pretty great thing. We're going to see how it connects with the other cards as well. Our present card is crystals. So, in the present, this card is saying that you've been avoiding something. Lindsay.
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 Hey, Leanne. Lindsay, we're talking to you. You've been avoiding something. And this card is telling you you need to focus. You need to eliminate all the distractions. And you need to be fully present in the situation right now. We're on to you. So when we talk about focus with our crystals card, it's not talking about a hypervigilance though. You don't have to jump out of bed and go do something right now. But it needs a relaxed attention. Whatever you've been avoiding, it's time to make the decision. All right, so we're going to see how this all works. And right now we're looking at how that you were trying different versions of yourself, and maybe amongst that you were avoiding a certain something, and that's why you were making some different changes. Let's see what the present card has to say. Oh, fairies. So when you see the fairy card, it's all about getting back to nature. And so you'll have to let us know if you'd like, if that thing have you been avoiding. Lindsay, are you getting a camper? She's getting a camper.
What, like a trailer?
I don't know, she hates camping.
Oh. She's not getting a camper.
No, she's not getting a camper. You know what? I see these two cards working together. I think you're trying different versions of yourself. Maybe there was a big change in your life and you were trying to find out who Lindsay really was. And in that, there was something that maybe came up and you were avoiding it. You were avoiding it, and it's time to focus on it. And then in the future, our future card, it's talking about getting back to nature. Now, we don't have to necessarily mean that you have to go camping or you gotta plant a garden. God knows I can't do that. I just kill it all. I say I have too much energy. Sends too much energy into the flowers. But it can also mean you need to get back to basics. So that's where this comes in with these three cards, is that there's been a few different versions of Lindsay. That item that you've been avoiding needs some focus. And it's going to be about getting back to the basics. And that can mean getting back to the basics. No camping. That can mean getting back to the basics with your family. Maybe you're too busy. Maybe you're so busy that that's why you're avoiding this topic over here, whatever it is. And you do not have to tell us what it is. And you need to slow down. You need to get back to basics. And you need to work on this guy. So all the Lindsays that have been try it out. I think you probably got her now. But there's that thing that you've been avoiding. And the answer to it is to get back to basics. Let me know if that makes sense with the intention that you set. Hi, Kim. If you feel you need more clarification, Lindsay, we can pull a trump card as well. Let me know. I do think that this all makes sense here, though. While we're waiting for Lindsay to answer, I'm going to show you the card that Vanessa pulled earlier. This was a message from her spirit animal, and she got a message from the tortoise. Doesn't necessarily mean that a tortoise is following her around on a daily basis. It's possible.
It wouldn't keep up. I'm too fast.
But it is saying that she's going in way too many different directions, and she needs to get grounded, and she needs to slow down, and she needs to not treat everything in crisis mode, and instead take a more relaxed approach to those, what we perceive to be crises, but in the grand scheme of things, they're not. If that means the kids are late one day to school, or you forgot
a spoon,
or you forgot to pay something, just pay it. It'll get done.
Or don't pay it. You know, live on the wild side.
No, you should pay it.
Oh, man.
You should probably pay it. But not everything is a crisis, even though it feels that way in the moment. And this is a reminder for her. Lindsay, I am so glad that that makes sense to you. Vanessa's going to take a picture of your cards for you so that you can have a look at them again. And as with all card readings, please meditate on them. And that doesn't mean that you have to sit. You have to sit. Sorry, Vanessa's just taking a picture. You don't have to sit, cross-legged on the floor and do the little hand things while you're meditating or anything like that. It just means when you have those quiet moments in the car or right before bed or in the morning if you're an early riser or even in the shower. Think about this. Think about what you are meant to be focusing on. Think about how you're going to get back to basics. And think about the right version of the Lindsay. The best version.
The perfect
version. So, Lindsay, you also wanted a question for the pendulum. So, this is mine. It's made of clear quartz. Clear quartz is an amplifier, so that's what I really enjoy about my pendulum, because it makes me feel that we have a lot of energy bouncing around when I'm using this, and it's going to talk to me. So when you have a pendulum, and not every pendulum will work with every person, is that how I use it anyways. I'm sure you could find different uses. Is I have my dominant hand, I'm left-handed at the bottom. I'm holding the pendulum in my right hand. And so we have an energy connection now between my hand and the pendulum. And because I am a level 2 Reiki practitioner, there is the possibility that I have a bit more energy happening here as well between the pendulum and my hand, because that's where your energy does come out of when you are doing Reiki. And when you want to work with a pendulum and you're shopping for one, you're going to hold it up like this and you're going to say, "Show me a yes." And in this case, on my pendulum, it is always a circle. And then you say, "Show me a no." And it's back and forth, as this pendulum always does. And then you're going to say, "Will you work with me?" And thankfully, he still says yes. Woo! So, Lindsay, as I do this, you are going to think of a yes or no question. And there are other ways you could do this. We could have a mat here and it has a few different answers around it and we can say which way the pendulum points to. But tonight, this is the way we're going to do it. We're going to have a yes or no question. So, Lindsay, My arm's getting a little tired. So I'm going to let you think of that question right now. And then we're going to ask the pendulum for it.
She doesn't have to tell you the question, right?
She absolutely does not have to tell me the question. I just want her to think of it. Tell me when you're ready. And then we are going to use an energy exchange to get that information to you. So let me know when you have it in your head. There's lots of different pendulums you can get. Billy Joe, she has an amethyst one.
I have a rose quartz one.
Yeah, rose quartz. It's a beautiful stone. I've also seen them where they've been made with all the different chakra colors up here as well. This one's pretty cool too because you could put essential oil up here. You could add essential oil in it. And actually, just so everybody knows, before I did our card reading, I cleansed my hands with frankincense as well. Something that I always do before a card reading. Excellent, Lindsay. You have your question. So, we're going to ask the pendulum for the answer. That is a really big yes.
That is a yes.
That is a huge yes.
I hope it was a good question.
Wow, that was really, that is exciting. That was a huge yes. Now I wish we knew the question. Don't tell us though, it's just for you. It's just for you, Lindsay.
I'll ask her on Friday.
So, our amazing reading for Lindsay is that she's been trying out a few different versions of herself, which is an awesome thing. Lots of people should do it. You should try making little changes in your life. And then when you're having that trial period in your life of who you want to be, I think for Lindsay, lately, in the present, there's been something that she's been avoiding, but it's time for her to focus on it. And the way that she's going to focus on it is by getting back to the basics. Oh, it's good news. It's good news about the pendulum. Excellent. Oh, I'm so happy for you. That was amazing. That was amazing.
I love the pendulum.
That was probably the biggest yes I've ever seen. Should have felt the energy going through as well.
Also a huge thank you to Amy, who has signed up for a reading as well.
Excellent. Excellent. I don't know. I think we have Beck's next, but if she's not here, we can probably have you jump on now, Amy. Lindsay, thank you so much for doing this with us. I really appreciate it, and I hope that it gave you information that you need. Trisha, you can get a pendulum. I could maybe help you out with that. Or if not, you can head to a few different stores. I know Green Earth, for example, at White Oaks has quite a few. I just absolutely recommend you must touch it. You don't just pick one because it's a pretty color. You must touch it. You must pick it up. You must ask it to show you a yes. Show you a no. Ask it if it will work with you, because it might say no. And that's not a bad sign. It's just not the right one for you. That's all. Thank you, Lindsay.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Amy, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're doing a 3-card reading. So we're going to start with your 3-card reading, Amy. I am on it, Trisha. I'll send you some info tomorrow about it. So, Amy, I'm going to knock on my deck of cards because that's going to send the energy for your reading into my deck. And then I'm going to shuffle. And as I'm shuffling, you're going to set your intention for the reading. You might have heard earlier that intentions can be, often I like the one of what I need to hear, because we're going to look at the past, present, and future of your intention. Another option is, where is my career going? Or where is my life going? or where is my family going? I do like, though, to use the intention of what do I need to hear, because it's not always what we want to hear, but it's what we need to hear. And it's a great starting point of an oracle card reading. And in the future, you could always get other ones as well for different topics. So I'm going to knock on it now, send in energy for a reading for Amy, and she's going to set her intention. Absolutely, Trisha. We are on it. And while we do this, just to remind everybody, we still have a little bit of time tonight, after we get to everybody else, that we can do a few more readings. Just send the page a PM, and Vanessa is here to help you out. Or if you want to book a reading for a future night, just send us a message as well. If you scroll, I think just one message down our page, you can see the pricing available, or just send a message and Vanessa can help you out. She is on the ball tonight.
That's what I'm here for. And because I love this.
Yes. It is an awesome experience. And I'm so glad that we've been able to set this up and connect with people this way. Amy, I feel I've shuffled enough for you. I'm going to set out 3 pieces of the deck here for you. And if you're comfortable, I'd like you to pick either 1, 2, or 3. And we're going to pull your cards from that part of the deck. So we'll give you a minute to have a look there. Let me know which one is the right one, which one's speaking to you. And just a reminder, as we work with our cards here, we have a lot of protection lined up around our deck, so we can be sure that there is no negative energy being directed at us. Number 2, excellent. We're right in the middle. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay out 3 cards. This is your past, your present, and the future of your intention. We're going to leave the rest of the deck here because it is possible that we'll feel as a trump card. But first we're going to start our work here. So we're going to look at each of the 3 cards. I'll give a quick description about them, and then we're going to see how they connect together. So the past is an iceberg and submerged. So when we see this card, and thankfully it's in your past, you were suppressing or denying something. And it's possible that there was a guilt associated with it, or a shame, but you needed to let it surface so that you could heal. And we're going to see what the present card looks like, and then we're going to work on all these cards together. So when we look at your present card, wow, gorgeous. It's the Mountain card and Strength. And these go together beautifully. So this is a time to stay vigilant. And that is not to the point of fear or paranoia, but you need to stand strong, you need to stand steady, you need to be a rock. And let's look at your present and see where this is going. The Wolf and Instinct. So when we see this card, Amy, it can talk about that you've lost your instinct. You've lost touch with your instincts, and you need to break free from what is imposing a limiting mindset on you. So you can see that I am sure that these 3 cards go amazingly together, and they are obviously pointing at one thing in your life. So your intention might not have just been what you need to hear overall, but it might have been on a very specific topic, and that's okay because I think we have the information. Vanessa's just going to take a picture of them, and we'll send that to you. So let's look at here again. So our iceberg. So when you think of an iceberg, what you see on the top, there's a whole other set of problems on the bottom. Hi, Caitlin. Glad you're here. We're just looking at some cards for Amy. So you were suppressing something for a long time, Amy. And we all probably do it, right? I'm sure I can think of reasons that I've avoided things or pushed them down or not wanted to focus on them. But I think at this point, when we pulled this card, you were at the point of not just pushing something down, but denying it. You were denying its existence, and when we do that, we just make it worse, right? We always make it worse. And I think that related to something that possibly you were pushing down or denying is coming up now. And you need to stand strong. And it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that something is going to hurt you. But you need to be vigilant and you need to stand strong. And that's why I'm glad that we have our protection stones with us as well, because there might be some negative energy that is possibly related to. But what you're going to do in the future is you're going to get your instincts back. So when this card is pulled, as I said, you've usually lost your instincts about something, and that's because someone or something has been repressing you a bit. And you need to break free from that, and you're gonna be back on your game. Let me know if that makes sense, Amy, or if you feel that we should have one more card to get a trump card to have an overall theme of our cards, although I think that they're pretty strong here. Hi, Bex. Thanks for joining. So, Amy, before I continue, let me know how you're feeling about these cards, if we're on the right path. Makes sense? That's good to hear, and please don't feel that these cards are negative. It's probably based on what your intention was when we were shuffling, and it's something that you're working on, and it's something that you're going to stand strong about, which is great, because we should all be like a mountain. And when you think of a mountain, it is strong and firm. It's not trying to reach up higher. It's not sinking. It is just standing still as stone. And it's a protection. It's a protection of your emotions and your heart. And that is excellent that you are going to stand strong. Stand strong in your relationships. Stand strong in your ideas. Stand strong in your career. And stand strong in your choices. I love that you're going to believe in yourself, Amy. And what's going to happen here with this wolf is that you're going to get your instincts back and you're going to make awesome choices for your future. And it's something that you're working on right now. I'm so glad that was something you need to hear. Sometimes it's not, as we said, it's not what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. And I want you to look back when you have quiet moments and think about how strong you are, because you are really strong, as this is showing, Amy. Really, really strong. And Amy wanted to do the pendulum as well,
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
So we'll see if we have a big yes or no for you, Amy. And if you're just joining us, we had mentioned how the pendulum works. Is that if you're selecting one for the first time, you're going to ask it to show you a yes, which could be a circle or a squiggle or a back and forth. And then you're going to ask to show you a no, which can be the same types of movements. And then you're going to ask it if it will work with you. And you want it to say yes, show you that yes movement. And if it doesn't, if it stands still, which is a bit undecided, or if it moves in its no fashion, then that's not the pendulum for you, and there's a better one that's waiting for you. So Amy, let me know when you're ready. You're going to have a yes or no question in your mind, and we're going to connect our energy, and we're going to get that answer for you. And then Bex, we're going to have a card reading for you as well. Excellent. I'm so glad that you're ready, Amy. Let's see what the pendulum has to say. And it's been sitting on our amethyst, so it's recharged. I'm ready to work with Amy.
It's another good yes.
It is a yes. It took a minute, though. Was a little undecided there, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was swinging back and forth, and then it went to the yes. So,
so I'm feeling, Amy, that is maybe you're at with this question that you have. Is you're a little iffy. You're a little wavy on whether it's a yes or a no, but the pendulum is showing a yes. Let me know if that makes sense for you. And we'll put it here to recharge. We'll just look at your cards one more time. As we wait for you to let us know. So remember that we got some really cards for you, Amy. We got the iceberg showing that you had some things under the surface that you were suppressing, pushing down, not wanting to think about or denying. At this time in the present, you need to stand strong and vigilant, like a mountain. And in the near future, I feel that this card is pointing to the near future, that you have maybe lost your instinct, possibly related to this iceberg submersion that you've been pushing down. And there may be someone or something that is limiting in your life that is causing you to lose those instincts, but you're going to take care of that, and you're going to be strong like the mountain. I'm so glad that these were the right cards for you, Amy, and what you need to hear. Let me know if the pendulum sounded about right too, where it was a little bit iffy about the answer, but then it became a yes. And Bex, if you're still here, we're going to be doing your card reading now. That is excellent, Amy. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy we got the right information for you. Thank you so much for joining us, Amy. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it, and I hope we see you on here again soon. We're going to do a lot of different readings. Hey, Bex. Thanks for joining us. So we have Bex doing a 3-card reading tonight. So Bex, I'm not sure if you saw earlier that what we have here is 2 protection stones. We have the fluorite, one of my faves, that has purple and green and clear in it. It's a protection stone, and it can also increase your psychic intuitions as well. And then we have another protection stone. This is a really strong guy. This is a black tourmaline. And you can think of this as kind of a shield, because what it does is shields you from negative energy. And we want our card space here to be shielded from negative energy, whether that's from spirit or whether that's from negative energy that's aimed at you. And then we also have citrine here, which is a good luck stone. Gorgeous, gorgeous stone. And it's all about bringing you abundance in life. And we can all use a little good luck. So I like to have that here as well. And we have our amethyst that recharges other stones, among many, many other things. It's a strong, strong healer. So that's our setup here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock on this deck, and I'm going to send my energy into this deck so that we have a clear and concise card reading for you. And this is going to be all about you. So as I shuffle, you're going to set your intention of what you need to hear. And it can be questions or intentions like, what do I need to hear today? Where is my career going? Where is my family life going? Where am I going? I like to have open-ended ones, like what I need to hear, because as we said a couple times tonight already, sometimes it's what you need to hear, not necessarily what you want to hear, but it all becomes clear in the cards. So here we go. I'm knocking and setting my energy into this deck so that we have a card reading for Bex. And I'm going to shuffle as you set your intention. When you're shuffling oracle cards, it's possible that one might pop out, and if it does, that can be the trump card or the overall theme to your reading. It's not always necessary by far. We can also, after we pull our 3 cards to see the past, present, and future, we can pull a 4th card, and that can be our trump card as well if we need further clarification on how the 3 cards connect. So what I'm going to do is set 3 pieces of our deck here so that we separate it out. And Bex, you're going to tell me which is the right one for you if you feel so inclined. If not, we can manage on it for us. So we have part 1 of our deck, 2 or 3. Let me know if 1, 2, or 3 is the right one for you, Bex. And Carolyn, if you would like a reading, Vanessa Duffy is ready here. If you just want to message the page, she'll get you all the info. The pricing is right on the page as well. Our first post under this one. Or just message the page and Vanessa can get that info to you. Part 2, the middle one, absolutely Bex. We're going to see what the card has to say. So we're going to look at the past, the present, and the future of your intention, Bex. We're going to leave our deck here in case we need a 4th card. So we're going to look at the 3 cards and have a quick description of them quickly, and then we're going to see how they all work together. So first in the past is the lake card. You get it in the middle here. So the lake card and stillness, and remember this is about your past. So when we think of the lake, actually let's go back. When we think of life, life gets busy and then it just gets busier. And then you wonder how the heck you ever did anything because you're always so busy. And you kind of lose yourself, don't you? You lose yourself a bit because you're always going and you're always working for other people and you're always trying to please other people. And then there's no more time left for Bex, for any of us, right? But you know what? You don't have to be part of that hurry up prison, right? And I know I want to talk because if you know me personally, that's how my life is, because I have 3 kids in about 17 different sports, possibly, and I go. Now I am happy with that right now in my life, which is where you need to be. If that's where you need to be, that's good, and that's where I want to be. But I think in the past that you were caught in the hurry up, and it wasn't where you wanted to be. So what you need to do, maybe it's something that you're working to right now, we'll look at your present card and we'll see, is take the time to relax and be still. Whether that meant a weekend away, or whether that meant 5 minutes, or whether that meant going to the bathroom with the door closed. You can let us know if you'd like where that stillness was found, but you absolutely do not have to. And we're going to leave this here for now. We're going to look at your present day card. The dragonfly and emergence. So when we look at the dragonfly card, we are talking about a process. It's a process of emerging into your next life cycle. Now, with the dragonfly, it's not a slow process. It's not years in the making. It is happening rapidly, just like we talked about in our lake and our stillness card, that you were caught in the hurry, hurry, hurry. And in the present, we are seeing that you're emerging into a new life cycle, and it's happening like that, and it's unexpected, and you think you're unprepared for it. But it's happening anyways, whether you're prepared for it or not. And this card is telling you that you need to let go of your defenses, and you need to just let it happen. You need to go with the flow. You need to jump into that next cycle. And what that can mean is a whole host of things. It can mean maybe you're getting married, or you're switching careers, or you're having a baby, or the kids are changing their phase of life, whether it's from the littles to the bigs to the university students to the grandkids. There's so many different life cycles that you can talk about, or even new relationships. Let's see what your future card holds, and then we're going to see how these all work together. So we've already seen this card tonight, and it's about clouds and shape-shifting. And isn't this excellent with emerging into a new you? Is that you're going to try a few different versions of yourself. And as we talked about earlier, those versions can mean you're wearing different types of clothes. Maybe you were kind of a hippie, like me, and now you're kind of a career girl. Or maybe you made the switch from career girl to hippie, which is an excellent idea, by the way. Or maybe you are just growing up and you are making the change from being a college or university student, any type of student, to being more career focused or more family focused. Let me know if these are making sense to you, and if they are, we'll look at them further, or if not, we can pull a trump card and look at the overall of what the cards are trying to tell us, Bex. Thanks for joining, Kristen. So happy you think it's a good idea. Hopefully we'll be able to do a card reading for you in the future. Let me know how your blingy bracelet is, too. Welcome back, Andrea.
I love my bracelets.
Me too.
I get tired of you posting them because then I need new ones. I'm like, oh, well, that's one that I definitely need, so I need that one too.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
And I never take my necklace off. Ever.
And that is fluorite.
Yep. Protection.
Bex, I am so glad that this is on par for what you need to hear. So if we look back at your past, you were caught in what I call the hurry up prison. You had to go, 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 and there was no stopping, and you didn't even know what you were doing anymore because you were just rushing around all the time. And in the present, you are now emerging into the next cycle of your life. And as we talked about, there's lots of different cycles as we grow up and grow on. And this one is happening rapidly. It's feeling out of control. You weren't even expecting this change. You think you're unprepared for this change. You have your defenses up. You have your back up because you think that you're not ready for this. This isn't what you want. This isn't what you asked for. But it's happening anyways. So you know what you gotta do? You just gotta let it happen. You just gotta let it happen, Bex. Just let go of your defenses. You're gonna have to go with the flow. It's gonna be quick changes. And then there's gonna be the new Bex. And that doesn't mean brand new, like no one will recognize you. We're just saying that it's the new you, whether that's kind of the older you or the career you or the mom you or the wife you. There's lots of different versions of you, or the single girl you. There's lots of different yous out there, and you can try them all on, right? But for you, it's happening very quickly. So I think we might actually see a card set that's going to come full circle, because after all that, Vanessa's just going to take a picture for you so we can send that to you later. We're going to see a full circle here because we're acknowledging that you were stuck in the hurry, 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 and now you are becoming, emerging, and then you're going to try on the right different versions of you to see which one fits. And then we're going to come full circle back to here, and you're going to find that place of calm. You're going to find that place of meditation. You're going to find that place of where you can relax and enjoy being you, honestly.
Bex 10.0.
10.0. 10.0. Thanks so much, Bex. I am so happy that those were the right cards for you. Carolyn, don't forget to message the page if you do want a reading tonight. We only have a few more to go today, so we want to make sure that we don't leave before we get your reading if you'd like one. Trisha, if you're still here, we have you up next. Let me know. I know there's a delay from when I talk to when I can see your answer.
Trisha! Let's see her. Let's see her right there.
Bex likes the 10.0 idea.
Bex 10.0. The new you, Bex. The new you. New and improved. Awesome sauce, Bex.
Thank you so much for having a reading with us today, Bex. I love getting these messages to people. And there's going to be a lot more videos. And we hope we see you again. And I hope you're enjoying your mala. I am sure you are. So while we're waiting to hear if we see Trisha.
She's here.
Oh, she's here. This deck is called the Earth Magic deck, and it's from Stephen Farmer. This is a deck that I use most often, even though I own, don't tell my husband.
I think he's watching, so.
I own a lot of decks. And actually, there's going to be a lot of different videos looking at all those different decks because I would like to try them out. And sometimes it's hard to try out decks on yourself because you just keep getting the same cards and you don't get to see the other ones. So it's best to familiarize yourself with the new decks by gathering your friends or gathering your online friends and giving them very short readings. But that way you can learn all about your cards, which is wonderful. It's so nice to get these messages. Trisha, I'm so glad you're here. So what I'm going to do, Trisha, is I'm going to knock on my deck to send my energy into this deck so that it gives us the messages that you need to hear. And what you're going to do while I'm shuffling after I've knocked is you're going to set your intention. And as we've talked about this evening, there's lots of different intentions that are available to you. You can be specific, but I do prefer if you are a little more open-ended and just want the intention of what do I need to hear today. And remember, you are pulling these, well, I am pulling these cards with my hands, but your energy is calling these cards to you, and these are the messages that you need to hear today. All right, so I'm going to knock, and I'm going to send my energy into this deck. And then I'm going to shuffle, Trisha. And then we're going to look at a few different parts of this deck, and you're going to tell me which is the right one for you. Remember, it's possible a card might pop out, and that's okay. That can just be our trump card. It can be what we need to hear to connect the three cards together, the overall theme. And it is an option to pull just one card, and it can just be a quick message of, again, what you need to hear, or you might have a more specific question based on family or relationships or career or just whatever you want to ask about. It's an option. One card, it's $8, and to get the 3 card, it's $18. And we also have our spirit animal messages as well. If you were joined at the start, Vanessa got her tortoise, and it was the right message for her today. We know. Okay, I think I'm there. All right, Trisha, let me know if 1, 2, or 3 is the right one for you. While we're waiting to hear from you, we'll look at Vanessa's tortoise from earlier. If you recall, she got this message from her spirit animal. And it was letting her know that she was being pulled in all different kinds of directions, and she needs to settle down and stop worrying about the little crises in our lives, and stop worrying about the little things, because then you get pulled in all these different directions and you don't know which way is up, and you just need to get grounded.
The fender benders in life.
Vanessa might have had a fender bender this past week.
True story. Wasn't my fault. I just wanted my Starbucks.
What were you getting at Starbucks?
Actually, when I went in, cause I was ready, and the girl was like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "Awful. I just got in a car accident in your parking lot." She's like, "Oh my goodness." And I was like, "I need a coffee." And she was like, "What can I get you?" And I'm like, "I want a big iced coffee with caramel and some coconut milk." And she was like, "Okay." And so she made me the biggest one. Aww. And she's like, "On me today." And I was like, "Thank you." It was so good though. I really like coconut milk.
Oh, that is so nice. Coconut milk?
Yeah.
I don't think we can be friends anymore. Coconut milk?
Coconut milk.
That sounds healthy.
It is healthy and it tastes delicious and it doesn't have as much fat and grossness as cow's milk. All right. Can we go and we'll try it?
We'll try it.
Okay.
But we won't hit anything first. I'll drive, actually. So, Trisha, you pick part 3 of our deck. Amazing. Let's see what it has to say for you. So, if you recall, we're looking at the past, the present, and the future of your intention. And we're going to leave the deck over here because we may need a 4th card.
Oh, hang on. She's gone.
She's gone. We'll wait for you. Connection issues. So if you're just joining us, you know that usually if we do a 3-card spread, we're looking at the past, the present, and the future, the intention that you set for your card reading. And then we could always grab one more card, the trump card, if we need it. And usually if we need this card, it's because we're looking for the overall theme of the 3 cards here, if they're not clear to us in the moment. And that can happen because sometimes you're not quite sure what it all means, and then it's going to come to you later, or just with an extra quick message here. But usually, and with every reading tonight, we've been spot on with everything that everyone needs to hear, where they're going, where the past, the present, the future have to give them. And as we have our setup here, our altar, so to speak, we have a lot of protection around us. We have our fluorite, our black tourmaline, our citrine, and our big chunk of amethyst.
Sorry, I know that you've said this 1,000 times, but what does the citrine do?
It's for good luck.
Okay.
That's how we're going to win the lotto, Max, remember?
Right.
But no, it brings good luck to our reading, which means good thoughts, good intentions. Trisha will give you one more second to pop on, and if not, you can rewatch this later because we already have your cards here, so I do not want to lose them for you. And Carolyn, if you are still looking for your reading tonight, please message the page and we'll get everything set up for you. And if you're just joining in tonight just to watch, excellent, welcome. And we'll be doing a lot more of these in the future, and you are welcome to message us and set up a future date as well. If you scroll down to our previous message on our page, you can see the pricing there. Trisha's here.
Yay,
excellent.
She's back.
She's back. So Trisha, we know that you picked part 3 of our deck split. I had it ready for you, and now I have your 3 cards here, your past, your present, and your future, based on your intention that you set when I was shuffling. So we're going to look at each card kind of quickly, and then we are going to see how they all work together. So the past, our card, the spring equinox, and rebirth. So when we get this card, it means that in the past, you were going through a passage that you thought would never end. You were maybe stuck in something, or you had real pain in your life. Real pain. A lot of pain. And that's okay, because you made it through. That's what this spring equinox card is showing us, a rebirth card. And if you think of a birth, we probably all know that it's painful, ridiculously painful. And even if you think of leading up to it, it is a hardship in some regards. It's a toll on a body. And then a painful birth, but then a huge reward at the end. And another phrase that we can use when we're looking at the spring equinox is that there was an absence of light. There was an absence of light in your life, Trisha. There was darkness. We can think of the long winter months of darkness, no sunshine, which was maybe a sad, hard time for you. It's possible. And you made it through already. You're already there. You already made it, which is a welcome relief. I know that for you. So we're going to come back to that, but we're going to look at your present day card now. The ceremony card. So what the ceremony card is talking about to us is that you might have lost your way a little bit. And it happens. It can happen to a lot of people. And lost your way in that you've been drifting. You've been drifting away from spirit. You had a life crisis. You turned your back on spirit, possibly on happiness. But this card is calling you back. It's calling you back from all that pain, of the birth, as we look at here. All that pain of hardship, of trials and tribulations. You made it to the other side, and then this card is letting you know that during that time, you kind of lost your way. You lost your way because you were hurt. But it's calling you back now, and we're going to talk about this a little bit. But let's look at your future card. The Meadow card. So this is amazing. It's an amazing set, Trisha. Because the Meadow card is talking about vulnerability. And it's talking about in the future, and I think the near future based on these cards, is it's time to let people see the real you. And there's probably going to be some judgments about it. It might be from people close to you or that you thought were close to you. But you have enough strength now to trust that you can deal with that, and you're going to finally let your authentic self shine through. It's amazing. I don't think that you need another card, because I think we have the right idea here. But let me know if you feel that we need a little bit more info here, and then we're going to look at these again. Vanessa's just going to take a picture so that we can send that to you later, so that you can reflect on them later. So sometimes when I'm pulling cards, I kind of maybe see 2 here and this guy over here, or vice versa, or even you're past and your future and you're doing something different in the present. But this time for you, Trisha, all 3 of these absolutely work together. So we're going to mention again that there was a bad time. And it was such a bad time that you lost your way a little bit. But this card is telling you to come back. And if you look at here, you can see that this person is showing that you set an altar up. And that's something that we can talk about another time as well. But you can see even here, this is considered even an altar. My setup here, because in this space, I have protection, I have good luck, I have healing, and I have amplification. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that it's amazing, Trisha. I hope that this is what you needed to hear. So I think for future steps for you is that you are going to set up in a small space, probably your bedroom or maybe an office or by a window. You're going to set up a tiny altar, so to speak, and it's going to have possibly some crystals. And you could even have a printout of these cards to remind you. And it's going to be a place of reflection for you and meditation. And it's time to be Trisha. It's time to be Trisha. You're allowed to be. I am letting you know it's time to be Trisha. You don't have to worry about what anybody else has to say. You don't have to worry about how they're going to judge you or how they're going to think you're silly or you're making bad choices or whatever they want to think. You're going to be you, your authentic self. And it was a lot of work to get here, Trisha, by the looks of it. So much so that you might have lost your way for a while. But it's time to just let it all go. Let her all go. And just be Trisha. Let it go. Let it go.
As I sing Frozen.
There might be a little singing in the background here. That's all right.
Just living our best lives, you know?
Absolutely.
Right?
Let me know, Trisha, how you feel about this. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
I thought that was beautiful. I loved it.
Hi, Rom. Hi, Christy. So if you've received a reading tonight, we'll be sending you a picture of your cards later so you can reflect, and the video will be available on the page as well. Carolyn, if you wanted a reading tonight, please message us in the next few minutes. Otherwise, we have gotten to everybody that had booked tonight. And if you pre-book on one of our Oracle card reading nights, and you pre-book and you prepay, you can be entered to win a prize. And now and in the future, I would appreciate it and share our videos when possible so that we can share with more people and have more card readings, because I know that they're fun to watch too. Fun to get some insight into cards and to learn more about crystals, more about spirit, more about oracle cards. And we'll also have some videos on the Facebook page looking at different decks. And if you have a question related to this kind of stuff, ask it anywhere. Ask it by private message, ask it during a video, ask it during a live video, and we'll answer it as best we can. And if we don't have the answer, we're going to learn it together, because if I don't know the answer, I am probably going to want to know. So please do that anytime. Trisha, I'm so glad you feel good and it was something that you needed. I'm so happy I could give you that.
I truly feel like an oracle card reading is something that everybody needs. They just to see, you know, just get some clarification on their life and, you know, where they're at and, you know, all that. Like, it's so good for the soul just to have that insight, right?
Don't mind my finger. We're still learning here.
Doing amazing.
I think we did.
Such a good job.
We did pretty good.
I'm so proud of you.
That was a lot of fun, guys. A lot of fun. I hope that everybody enjoyed it, and I do appreciate feedback, good and bad, because it can only make things better.
I think you did amazing.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you for your help. Carolyn, if you want a reading, we are more than happy to give it to you. Just let us know.
Or if anybody else wants a reading.
If anybody else wants a reading, we are still here. We are ready to rock. I would love to get messages to you. And remember, when you do an oracle card reading, it's you that's calling the cards to you. It's your energy that is calling the cards, and I'm here to help you interpret the messages. And this is my favorite deck that I use, Earth Magic. It's a Stephen Farmer deck, but I have a million other decks too, and we're going to use those in future Facebook Lives, and we're going to have videos where we even not review it, but look it over. Look it over, and we might even have a couple days where we might ask for volunteers to have a very quick one-card reading to learn about different decks, because that's always a help. To learn, always learning. And we also have our animal deck as well, and that can give you a message from your spirit animal or your guides. Spirit energy that is with you always and watching what you're doing, and sometimes there's a message out there that you need to hear, whether it's to slow down or speed up or take a stand or be strong, or to let go, or to forgive. There's lots of different things that we can ignore and suppress, and we need to hear. And sometimes the cards are a great way to get that message to you. All right, thanks so much, and thank you to Vanessa for helping me out.
I wouldn't be anywhere else. I mean, I could be home with my husband on our anniversary, but I want to be here with you.
She did see him all day. And
I did see him all
she'll
day.
see him right after
Yeah.
this. And I did wish them a very happy
You
anniversary.
did. Thank you.
And she got caught in the rain.
I did get caught in the rain, and it
She
was
has a good
wonderful.
anniversary story.
It was wonderful. As I'm running, like soaking wet, running.
Running.
I ran. And I'm running, and Keegan is running, and the rain, and Logan is running, and it just, that moment, I was like, there is nowhere else in the entire world that I would rather be than stuck here in the middle of the jungle, in the rain, with all these weirdos. It was perfect, and it was funny, and then we grabbed ice cream. Yeah, it was good.
The anniversary story.
Yeah, absolutely.
You won't forget it.
Nope.
Well, thank you so much again, guys.
We'll do this again.
Yeah. Next week, maybe.
Probably. Maybe this will be like our Sunday night oracle.
Yeah.
Sit down.
With possibly a beverage.
Maybe. But mine's all gone. Cheers! Cheers! I didn't have to do as much talking, so I was busy just drinking.
Yeah, that's okay. That's why we're here.
Yeah. Maybe
All
next
right.
time I'll glue eyelashes on you.
Very much.
Yay!
Okay. Well, thank you so much, guys. And Carolyn,
Thanks, guys.
if you're interested in a reading, please message us. We'll get you next time. And we'll book it. All right. Watch for future events. Thanks, guys.
Bye!